I was on a business trip in Connecticut and I saw an ad in a local newspaper.
Shortly after, around the same time, the deaths started hitting the newspaper.
We started to see more overdose deaths and more overdose incidents, and we knew that a product was coming into our community that was stronger than it had ever been before. I was also getting visited by parents, particularly mothers, who were really worried about their kids.
We knew a lot of the people that were passing away. So yeah, it really elevated the need to get going on a community response.
I remember Monica and Karen came to the Thursday law enforcement leaders meeting and requested some assistance in community engagement. And we'd already been talking about that, and it seemed like serendipity that they showed up that day. And I remember they started talking, and I kind of leaned forward and said, "We're in."
Serving on the Eyes Wide Open committee helped me learn some background and inside information with law enforcement that I wouldn't have been aware of otherwise.
We had this amazing meeting out at Dakota Medical Foundation with the faith-based community, where we had a panel discussion in an open forum where we talked about the issues that we're seeing as community leaders and as law enforcement, and ways that the faith-based community could step up and help.
During that time, I mean, what we were seeing obviously is what everyone was seeing, is we were seeing the cycle of addiction. When they get out, they just didn't have anywhere else to go, so they'd go back to the old influences that they had. And in doing that, they just couldn't break the cycle. And we'd come across the same individuals again, with the jail chaplains in the jail, and then once they got out, they could continue through the Living Free program.
We realized in law enforcement that we couldn't arrest our way out of that particular problem. We needed not only law enforcement, but business leaders, educators, healthcare providers, treatment providers, and the faith community to help us fight that fight.
The Living Free model is really faith-based small groups. And so it's not just about addiction. It is individuals that have a life-controlling problem. Might be addiction, it might be drugs and alcohol. It may also be a behavior, it might be gambling, it might be pornography.
This epidemic really made it clear that it affects all walks of life, all members of society, all socioeconomic and racial groups, and families who are church attenders.
It's not those people that struggle with a life-controlling problem and me that's got it all together. It's we. We're more alike than we are different.
I think that this program has just gone beyond what we initially thought it would with the start of the jail chaplains, and just how many different small groups now we have with the Living Free, and the different opportunities that's available through that Living Free program.